Hi, greetings everyone. I'm your host, Randy Morton. Welcome to Sea Hunters. And today we are on location here in Jessops near Mangoes and the Four Seasons Resort to speak a little bit about sargassum because we've noticed that sargassum has been impacting this area in recent times. For the year, on the 15th of March, sargassum came in all along the beaches, and you'll see in the photos where one of the local fisher guys or fisher folks was on the beach clearing up some of the sargassum, and it came in again almost 1 month later to the date on the 14th of April. So persons, take a look at that. 15th of March, 14th of April, this year, 2021. Sargassum is now on the western coast of the island of Nevis. As you see here in the background, there are some breakwaters which Four Seasons have developed or made. And between the breakwaters, we see some floating buoys. Now, those could simply be a marcation for the swimming zone as well as a floating barrier for sargassum. And we'll continue to monitor the situation as time goes by. And we'll spend a little bit more time at other beaches along the western coast to see if there's been some impacts similar to the beaches here at Jessops and at Four Seasons. Yes, now we're here on the other side of Jessops Beach where fishers would normally land their catch. And as you can see here, we have a bit of dried sargassum. So this could be the remnants of what came in on the 15th of April. Now, what's going to happen here is that most likely this sargassum would be left and it would rot. But what about the future? This could just be the beginning of something to come. How can we prepare better to deal with this sargassum issue? The fishers would normally land their catch right here. Now, if we have a heavy influx of sargassum, how will that affect these fishers here in Jessops? They may not be able to go fishing, but then if fishing is their livelihood, their only source of income, and because of sargassum, they are unable to work, what can we do to assist them? And what options do they have for a brighter future, not only for themselves, but for their children as well? We're now here at Cotton Ground, a fish landing site. And as you can see, there's a bit of evidence that there's been sargassum influx. Although it isn't severe, it is just possibly smoke, and later on we'll see the fire. The question still remains, what do we do now that we're seeing the smoke? We are here in the vicinity of the water taxi pier at Wally Beach, where you can see there's quite a bit of seagrass that has been deposited along the beaches here. It's clear that sargassum is not a major issue. However, we could still see the remnants of some sargassum in between the seagrass and the rubble that has been deposited here on the beach. We'll take you through another area of the beach where they would normally have some flags which say that this is the home of the cross-channel swim, and we'll take a look at the impacts in that particular area. You can see that there's still some remnants of sargassum along the beach, and it simply means that there are impacts being felt at different levels throughout the island. One would think that because the larger seagrass bed is located in the narrows behind us, going towards the airport and beyond. And that is why we have such huge amounts of seagrass on that far end, while we have bits of sargassum scattered throughout the beaches moving northward. And I'm sure you can see we have a few fissures in the background from cotton ground, and it appears that they're having some sort of engine problems. This again shows the challenges that are facing fishers on a daily basis. We have the sargassum problem, then they have engine problems. And who knows what other problems they face when they're at sea where no one sees them. We're here at Newcastle Beach to take a look at the possible sargassum impacts, as we have been doing throughout this episode. And we can see clearly that some sargassum has been deposited here, but it's similar to Wally Beach, where there's a mixture of seagrass and sargassum, and the seagrass is more prevalent in the mixture. There's another critical thing that I've noticed here at Newcastle. The beach is showing some evidence of coastal erosion as well, which means that there are additional challenges which fishers must overcome as time progresses. Yes, we are here at Herberts Beach, a popular sea bathing spot, and as you can see, the sargassum has already begun to pile up on the beach. And there's some near shore, and in the distance there's sargassum offshore that's coming onshore, being carried by the current. Now this is one of the areas that are generally heavily impacted by sargassum on an annual basis. We're only in the month of April, so this is just the beginning of what is to come. And as the sargassum decays, the stench of hydrogen sulfide would begin to travel through the neighboring community of Newcastle. What impacts is this having on the people? This is an interesting question, one which needs to be carefully investigated, because studies have shown that inhaling hydrogen sulfide over a time period could lead to headaches and other health-related problems. So sargassum is a problem, and it is here to stay. What are we going to do to mitigate the impacts of this problem? That is a critical question which needs an urgent answer. I believe NDMD should begin to put some sort of strategic plan together, because this is a disaster which occurs on an annual basis. So we need to have some measures in place to reduce the impact on the people and on our environment and of course on our economy. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're here at Long Hall, an area that is very active for fishermen, and as you can see, we have quite a bit of sargassum already being deposited in the near shore area, and over here we have floating sargassum coming into the shore. Now this area is showing more impacts than other areas, and please be mindful that it is April and most of the sargassum impacts are generally felt during the summer. Here you can see the water is not clear near shore. The water near shore is actually brown, which means the sargassum has come in and it has died, fallen to the bottom and begin to decay, and as it decays it changes the clarity and the color of the water. So instead of seeing crystal clear waters as you would normally see in our near shore areas, we are seeing brown water going out about 50 meters. Now that is something that I would consider to be a severe impact to the nearshore areas. As I said in my previous interview with the sargassum, as it decays, it uses up the oxygen, which means the marine life would not be able to survive in those areas. And it also releases hydrogen sulfide, which is toxic to fish. Now, I believe we'll be moving on to one last site, which is Indian Castle, and that area would normally have severe impacts of sargassum as well. But this is April. We are not sure what we are going to see. So come on, let's go and go to Indian Castle and see what their situation is at this point in time. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're here at Indian Castle Fish Landing Site, which is our final stop on our sargassum monitoring for this episode of Sea Hunters. I don't know if I need to say much because in the background we have two mountains of sargassum. We have the previous mountain, which looks like it's from last year, and we have a fresh mountain from this year. It means that this sargassum is having an ongoing impact on this landing site and on the fishers which operate from here. It just leaves a few questions. How do we reduce the impact of sargassum on our fishers? How do we reduce the impact of sargassum on our nearshore areas? And what impacts is sargassum having on the biological organisms in our waters? These are just a few questions which needs to be answered. And again, I would like to call on the individuals at the Disaster Management Department to put some sort of strategy in place so that we could have a plan as to how we will deal with sargassum in present and in the future. I'm Randy Morton, and this has been Sea Hunters. Catch you next time.